What do I have? Coding and robotics, doing arts and doing gender. Him is to summarize based on inclusive education using the lab. So we can't wait to hear his summarization of this thing. And he's been checking his slides if everything is fine. Your time, at least we are on time. I like this group. 14:03. We are starting with your presentation. So over to you and Dr. Man. All the way from Eastern Cape.
Thank you very much, and there won't be any questions. If, if by any chance you have questions, there's my teacup, they will answer. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Mr. Mate from the Eastern Cape in the OR Tambo Coastal. I have heard all your presentations and they were really nice. And mine is to emphasize that I'm from the rural areas. For the purpose of this presentation, then permissions were from the people that are featured here was obtained, and this is just an example of the forms that the learners filled. Colleagues, the question is, are we being inclusive in our classrooms? I would love us to go through this. At least I'm not on NTA. I would be panicking. NTA trained me. Inclusive education is not uniformity. I think that we agree, because it doesn't mean that you should give every learner exactly the same resource. Because fairness is not sameness. It's giving each learner what they need to succeed. It is not segregation. You can never separate children from you who have special needs, sit this side, and those that look normal to you on the other side. That is not inclusive education. It is not tokenism. Inclusivity it requires active engagement and support. It is not about disability. Prof said that when she was opening. And it is not optional, or it is not extra. You can't say I'll have time for inclusive education. Maybe I'll borrow someone's period and have time for that. Doesn't happen like that. It's a daily thing. What then is inclusive education? It is education that makes sure that no matter the learner's background, the context and ability, all of them can fully participate in the classroom. Even if they are 70, all of them must participate fully in the classroom. That is what inclusive education is. This was adopted by White Paper 6, which stated that no learner should be excluded from participating in education on the basis of disability, the language, or socio-economic status. As I said, I am from rural areas. You can see the chalkboard is falling. But we have tried to organize resources for the learners, and all of them can participate fully. Ladies and gentlemen, inclusivity is not optional, it is foundational. I have a question. Will we be remembered then as a generation of teachers that taught inclusive education, or the ones that lived it? I'm not expecting an answer. STEAM and CAPS is where innovation meets the curriculum. You will remember that the National Curriculum Statement has major goals, and one of its goals is that we as teachers must create critical thinking learners, problem solvers, and learners who can collaborate. Now, traditionally, a science teacher would draw if teaching natural sciences. you would draw and your hands would get dusty. Trying to put this thing in mind that, to learners, that condensation happens this way and evaporation happens this way, and learners really could not see what you were doing. But when STEAM Labs was introduced, learners could launch the simulation and run the simulations and see things happening in real time. The benefits of that is that the learners now who learn better through language can read the explanations. The learners who struggle with abstract concepts can see the process. The learners who prefer hands-on learning can interact with the simulation. Ladies and gentlemen, STEAM Labs is not here to replace CAPS. It is here to enrich it. It makes CAPS outcomes more accessible, engaging, and inclusive. One person may be wondering, what is simulation? Simulations are digital tools that replicate the real-world scenarios. Once you use them effectively, I say learners can have T, but not the T with an A. The T-E-E, which means learners can test, learners can experiment, learners can explore the concepts safely and interactively. Ladies and gentlemen, you have said yourselves, we have the simulations that are free, that in rural areas we can also use. We spoke of FET, which is free GeoGebra, we've got Colibri, and then we've got ones that we have free trial, but then they are paid. And then for arts as well, we have a lot of them. We've got your Blob Opera. One of the teachers said their learners really enjoy that one. Thanks, Bronwyn, for that one. They can create music on Chrome, and then we've got ones for geography. And in summary, we've got the virtual labs for every subject. Indeed, STEAM Labs is a bridge to equity. It makes sure that no learner is left behind. Then, how can we be inclusive when practicing STEAM Labs? We must keep in mind that we are guided by the Universal Design for Learning. In short, it is called UDL. This framework ensures that the lesson that you are preparing as a teacher have multiple entry points. Am I meaning that you're gonna make 5 lesson plans? No, it is one lesson, but with different multiple entry points. Previously, you would say learners go and do a circuit diagram and as teachers. There they would do with the wires and cardboard. STEAM Labs was introduced, the VR came in, and then the FET simulations came in. They are all doing the same job, but differently. That is being inclusive. Then the practice ensures that there is gender equity. There are multimodal strategies. That is, the visual learners are accommodated, auditory learners are accommodated, and kinesthetic learners are accommodated. It ensures that the safeguarding is integrated. This means that all learners are protected, they are safe, and they feel respected when you are practicing STEAM Labs in virtual labs. This is just an emphasis that UDL makes sure that all learners are accommodated. Generally, UDL ensures that there's equity over equality. It ensures that there's flexible goals and materials. It ensures that learners are empowered. But in STEAM Labs, it ensures that the lesson has multiple means of engagement. It ensures that there is multiple means of representation, as you have seen when the circuit diagram was constructed. It ensures that there is multiple means of action and expression. Colleagues, this is an example of a lesson plan. You don't have to do much. A physics TCOP started a lesson very well with a video that is engaging. That's element number 1 for inclusivity. Number 2, give them multiple ways of representing. Give them multiple means of expressing, and then give them a chance to reflect. UDL is about flexibility, not complexity. Then we have to transform the rural classrooms. This is our traditional classroom. The teacher would narrate, as we all say, what method are you using in classroom? I am using a narrative method, discussion method, question and answer method. But when STEAM Labs was introduced, learners could interact with the simulations. Learners could conduct experiments digitally. And after all, these are the types of learners that you would have. Happy learners that own their education and what they are learning. The impact of this is that you would have learners who are more engaged and teachers who gain confidence when delivering complex topics. For us now to see that we are inclusive, we have to have key performance indicators. What are we going to look at? We must make sure that there's differentiated instruction. Your lesson plan must accommodate all learners, no matter how diverse they are. We must use assistive technologies. That is, the technologies that you use must have text-to-speech and the screen readers and tactile models. You must use all of that. You will see with the learner participation rates, if I were to ask all of us here,